So I was just watching Julia Go's new video on YouTube. She's a newer Percy Jackson YouTuber, and it was on the timeline of the Titans Curse, and she was like, "It is a relatively short timeline," and I was in the comments, and I said, "Yeah, Rick is kind of good at that. Magnus Chase takes place in just a few months," and I started thinking about the Magnus Chase timeline, and there's something that's in it, but it's the fucking ages of these characters relative to the story. So if the last time I read it correctly, Annabeth and Magnus at the start of um The Sword of Summer, I forgot the name of the first book, are the same age. They are both 16. Put a pin in that cuz Magnus is 16. He dies, he stays 16 as an inheritee. The Magnus Chase series takes place over just a couple of months. I don't even think a year passes by the end of it because it starts in the spring and it ends in the summer. Basically, just a couple of months. Because the summer solstice is a deadline in, or just the height of summer. I don't know if they call it the solstice. Is a deadline in the Ship of the Dead. They have to get to Naglfar before that date in order to stop Ragnarok. So we know this takes place maybe at most 8 months. I'm not sure when the summer solstice is. Fuck. But let's go back to the Percy Jackson timeline because Percy and Annabeth are also the same age. Annabeth's birthday is before Percy's. So when Percy turns 16 in The Last Olympian, Annabeth is already 16. So how is it that in the same year that I believe should be taking place The Lost Hero, Annabeth references the beginnings of the Trials of Apollo books by saying that Apollo came to Earth as a god or God came to Earth as a mortal in the Ship of the Dead. It doesn't add up because there should be more time in between. Because if you're taking this all in context, you're basically saying that Trials of Apollo happens right after Percy Jackson when there is an entire book series in between. Don't ask me how it makes sense because I can't make sense of it. I think this is literally a plot hole. This is what happens when you make all of your characters the same age. And then you give actual birth dates. So you know who turned what age when.